So here we go then, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Track the Girls Talk podcast, the show where we cover all things Ipswich Town Women, of course, proudly sponsored by John Fowler's Solicitors. Big up Michael Kennedy once again for the support. He's been asking, when's it going to be a podcast? Well, Michael, here we are, ready to bring you a jam-packed show. I'm joined by my host and Town Women skipper, as always, Blue Wilson. How you doing, Blue?
I'm okay, Ross. I'm off the back of a study week. So I'm studying to be an accountant, and it has been rough. So it's been a rough week, but one more day of this course, and then I'm free back to work. So yeah, a bit tired, but getting through it. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. I'm not as busy as you studying accountancy. That's my worst nightmare. I don't want to do that. But yeah, best of luck, Blue. Hope it's all going well. We haven't had a podcast for a while, so apologies to everyone. It's just how it just fell. Other bits and bobs that we've been busy with, but we're here to bring you a great show. And we've got a special guest, Blue.
Extra special. Player of the month. Recently crowned on Sunday. So yeah, we've got Anna Gray with us. How are you doing, Anna? You didn't play on Sunday, but did you enjoy watching the game?
Yeah, I enjoyed watching the game. To see lots of goals for the first time in a while was good. Obviously gutted not to be playing, but no, I'm doing all right. The girls done well. They
did indeed, and I'm sorry to bring the pun in already. It was raining, and it was raining goals. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
really.
I know it's really bad. I know it's really bad, but I needed to bring it in now. Maybe the title of this podcast could be "Raining Goals." Maybe not. But no, I'm gonna shush now and segue into our first feature on the podcast. So we haven't been on the podcast since the draw against Oxford and, of course, the 5-1 win against MK Dons. So let's bring our snap thoughts quickly on the draw against Oxford, of course, top of the league. And someone on this podcast scored in this game. Good old Anna Gray. Anna, a few weeks back now, this game, but your thoughts on the game and scoring another goal as well?
It was a big occasion, I think. Oxford, always a big team. And obviously, last year they took a lot of points off us. And obviously, they're like unbeaten at 1,000 days at home. So I think in our head, it was, let's take that record away from them, put a bit of pressure on ourselves, but obviously pressure on them as well to keep their record. But I think, we did start the game a bit shaky, but we grew into it. And then I think, obviously, we conceded first. And obviously, we managed to get a nice goal by me, or Maddie Biggs, as some people have been saying. But yeah, we managed to get back into the game and obviously see it out. It could have gone either way, I think. But it was a good result for us, I think.
Yeah, Blue, last season we went to Oxford and it was a cold winter afternoon and that was our first defeat of the season. It was a disappointing day. So we needed to sort of right some wrongs from that. And it is a point, but a good point. We took that before the game. And yeah, Anna with her goal. What's your thoughts on the game?
I think especially as it was home for them and their record which is just ridiculous. So there's that sort of psychological element. But yeah, Oxford are a good team and I think we deserved to draw. Actually, perhaps could have edged it, but there's a few chances I remember which just on another day go in. And we're sort of 2-1, 3-1 up. But all in all, I'm happy with the draw against Oxford, especially at home. I think they'll continue to be a strong team for the rest of the season. You've obviously got Watford and Portsmouth as well, all in that. So it's a much tighter league this season, so I don't think it's going to be sort of as pressurised to win every game. As you can see, the sort of top four teams have already dropped a lot of points. So yeah, it's not what I'm worried about, and all in all, a good result.
Indeed, and Anna, final sort of talking points from the Oxford game. You did a lot of running like you normally do, but I think the amount of times I looked up, looking at my pitch and go, oh, she's up, here she goes again, running at the Oxford defence. That's one of those games where you got the ball a lot and you just did a lot of running.
Yeah, I managed to get the ball a lot and do a lot of running. I think I heard their manager at the end of the game in his interview saying they managed to keep the left side quiet, but I wasn't too happy about that. But yeah, I done a lot of running. Obviously, I wanted to get another goal. I think a bit unlucky there, just sort of run out of steam at the end. But yeah, I always do a lot of running.
Yeah, I think at one stage, of course, you had to get substituted off, but you were like limping, but you're still running and kept going. What is that like, having to do that for full 90 minutes sometimes, and even if you get a little bit of a knock and you know that is your main role is to run.
I think it's a bit of like adrenaline that keeps me going, really, because like I really do feel it. Like my legs are cramping, but I'm like, oh, I've just got to keep going. But yeah, I think it's the adrenaline that keeps me going.
Definitely. And what, Blue, you've seen, and you've been a teammate of Anna for a very long time now, but honestly, she can run for days.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this season especially has topped it off with some goals and assists, which is nice. But yeah, particularly this season, but always on the wing running. Do you know how many kilometres you covered that game, Anna?
I'm not too sure. I think I do about 11, 12K most games, but I think it's the high speed running that causes the problems for me.
You're like top of the chart of that throughout the team, aren't you?
Yeah, I think me, Summer, and Tash sort of cover the most. But yeah, I'd probably say me, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I want to quick, before we segue into the MK Dons game, Anna, I want to say congrats, of course, on making player of the month as well, but also 50th appearances for the club a few weeks back. What is that like to make 50 appearances for one club? You know, of course, coming through the academy and everything. Of course, we've said this before. You know, you probably would have reached that mark, you know, a long time ago if it wasn't for COVID and sadly a few injuries that you've had. But that must be a great sort of first milestone in your career.
Yeah, it's great, especially, you know, one club, Ipswich, coming through the academy. So it does mean quite a lot. Obviously, I'm a bit behind some of the other girls that made it last year. But obviously, like you said, all the injuries and COVID hasn't helped. But, you know, to have that under your belt at the age of 20, there's something special, something to be proud of. I know, obviously, it's tier 3, but it's senior football. So, you know, it's only going to help me in the long term.
Now, a few goals to add to that as well. So I'm sure that tally will improve as well. Of course, this year, getting a few goals and a lot of assists as well, which is good. Well, Blue, let's segue into the MK Dons game. And, well, it was fearing at one stage it could be postponed because of rain. It was thunderstorms as well and everything going on. Actually, that's later in the day. But yeah, what is that like for players when you turn up? You know, it's been raining pretty much all morning. You're like, is it going to be on? You know, pitch inspection set to be done at 1 p.m. What is that like?
Well, I think having looked at the pitch, I was a bit concerned, like, given that a lot of rain had taken place. But as soon as I got to Felixstowe, I was like, yeah, this will be all right. It's perfect. Knee sliding in this. I love it. But obviously the ref had a few looks, and then just before kickoff had another look after it started to downpour. I think the MK Dons keeper did actually get her towel out at one point to mop up the goal mouth so it could be played. And there was sand used as well. But yeah, it's unsettles you a bit, especially as we had to warm up outside the ground. But in that instance, I think you're just going to focus on and just make sure that you know you're ready for 2 p.m. when the game does kick off, and we were, which was good.
Yeah, a same question to you, Anna, as well, because you know you arrive at the ground, you've been preparing all week for this certain game, so you're raring to go, and I'm sure all the players, I think, yeah, MK Dons players as well, they seemed they were keen, they wanted it on, as you said, Blue. The goalkeeper was putting the towel down, but I know you weren't playing, but I'm sure you were just hoping for your teammates. Come on, let's get this game underway because we need to get these games started again.
I think, yeah, it was quite unsettling for us because we usually do things in like a certain order. And we hadn't had the team talk. We got changed first, which was a bit weird. And some of the girls, they get a bit uptight about things like that. But obviously they managed to get over that and obviously go out and put on a good performance. But, you know, we all wanted the game on. You know, we don't want to build up having loads of games at the end of the season. We want to get them done now. And obviously MK were desperate to have it on as well. But yeah, the pitch didn't look too bad. I think the ball just zipped along nicely. Could be worse, so...
That's what I mean. Props to Felixstowe at the moment because it does look nice from far. It looks all nice and green, but when of course you get up a little closer, yeah, it can be there's a bit there. Of course, the hills, the bumps, but no, I think it's always good to play in the rain, isn't it? When you're a kid, that's what you love the most, just playing in the rain, going into slide tackles, and and I'm sure for you, Anna, as a player who's running all the time, I'm sure that's good fun as well. And it is a little bit rainy, a little bit slippery.
Yeah, I'd rather play on like a rain surface. Like when it's dry in the summer and you're coming out with like these knee grazes, like that's the worst thing ever. So I'd rather a quick surface like that to play on. Obviously, I don't like getting my hair wet. But, I just firm that and yeah, it's good.
Definitely. Well, Blue, let's talk about the game then. And Bonnie Horwood, the skipper, joint skipper, of course, at the moment with you on the sidelines. But
Okay, Ross, it's okay.
yes, fine. Sorry. To be fair, I always call a lot of people skipper because there's so many. But enough of that. But Bonnie stepping up for a free kick, and you sort of said something funny beforehand. You're gonna maybe Nia should have it. Nia Evans, because Nia Evans started, which is good to see. But Bonnie stepped up and she scored.
Yeah, I have to say, before that free kick, I was screaming from the bench. I was like, why is Nia not on this? Nia can hit a ball so well from like a dead ball, whatever. She just connects with the ball so sweetly. So I was like, oh, Nia's starting, perfect. Laff wasn't on the pitch, who's obviously a normal taker. So I was like, oh my God, Nia, this is her chance. So I'm like, why isn't Nia on it? Get Bonnie off it. And obviously Bonnie then goes and puts it in the bottom right. So, you know, I did say to Bonnie afterwards, I was like, Bonnie, I have to admit, I was asking for Nia, but I was proven wrong, and I now respect you more. I'm sorry. But yeah, great free kick from Bonnie.
Yeah, she's doubled her goal tallies now. She only scored 1 goal last year on her debut, and now she's scored 2 goals in the last few games. And of course, she made it 3 goals and second goal of the season to make it 2-0 in this game, Anna. And another good finish from a set piece scramble. But what's that like watching on the sidelines, seeing Bonnie scoring twice in the same game?
I seen the corner, and then them getting ready to take the corner, and I literally said Bonnie on the volley. Like, I had a feeling she was going to score it, and obviously, she did. And I thought she was going to get a hat trick in the game, to be honest. But yeah, it's good to see Bonnie scoring. Yeah, she's a great player, so yeah, I was happy for her.
Definitely. And I liked her celebrations as well. Of course, she did run away, so I didn't get the greatest celebration. But I just like her. She's just like, yes! And then she runs away. I think she doesn't like all the glory, does she? I think she just wants to go back and, kick off, basically. But all the players then jumped on her. And, it's just good to see a player doesn't score that often, score 2 goals in the same game. And Tasha made it 3-0 pretty much quickly after, just before half-time. And Blue have not scored as many goals as we would like to this season, but to have 3 goals in the first half, and another good goal this was as well. Good play from EK and Summer as well to set up Tash.
Yeah, I think this one was my favourite of the lot, actually. Great ball by Summer and great ball by EK as well to build up. I'm sure Joe's going to clip that and play it to us tomorrow evening. But yeah, lovely ball. And then Tash finished the job. So yeah, it was good to see. 5 goals, bit of confidence. Nice sort of spread of the goals as well, which is good.
And 4th goal by Freya Godfrey, of course, dual registration from Arsenal, and she's back after international break, and she was playing your position, Anna. But she played well. She scored. Thoughts on that?
It's making me sweat a little bit on the sidelines. I was thinking, God, don't keep playing like this. But no, she done really well. Every time she got the ball, I heard the crowd going wild. But yeah, it was another good goal by her. A bit of a scramble. I think she could have had 2 or 3, to be honest, but she was such a threat. But she's going to be great for us this season. Yeah,
and I like just how we were pouncing on rebounds and everything like that. I think that's one thing we need to do more often, just being alert in the box, having players in the box to be alert for that, Blue, because maybe we've been prone on not doing that in recent games, or even, last season, at the end of last season. Of course, we weren't taking those chances, even though we were creating them.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a bit of a switch, and I think it helps if you get a few in the first half as well. I think then it gives us a bit more confidence to go on and then see the game out and add to the tally. But yeah, I thought it was a really good display given the circumstances of the, kickoff might be on, it might not be on. We responded really well. I think Joe was happy.
Yeah, and another goal from Abby Lafayette, scoring after just coming off the bench. She did get booked when about a minute into her coming on. But Anna, it was good once again from a corner and just volleyed it in.
Yeah, I think it's always nice when you come off the bench to get a goal, almost sort of proving a point sort of thing. But yeah, typical Laff coming on, getting a yellow card. I'm not sure it was a yellow card. I don't think she meant to throw the ball in her face. It's not something Laff would do, I don't think. But yeah, she'll have to pay that fine. I think she's got a few racking up now.
Definitely, yeah. It's one of those things. And also, I don't know if you noticed. I think it was Bonnie's second goal where I've got a good picture. I didn't put it in the gallery, but there's a picture of the MK Dons goalie basically threw the ball. I think Lily hit Bonnie in the face because they were celebrating. I don't know if you saw that. Did anybody see that?
I didn't see that, but it sounds like a Southampton rerun with their keeper and Zoe Barrett. I'll have to have a look at that.
Watch it on the video, because I don't know, I just see this ball come. I think Nia Evans sees it, because she's like on the picture, she's like this, and you just see Bonnie like Lily getting hit by it. So it's just frustration, I'm sure, from the MK Dons goalkeeper conceding another goal. But yeah, of course, MK Dons got a consolation in the end. I actually can't remember the goal, so someone has to. Can you remember?
Set piece, scrappy. Just one of those, which is they've taken a corner and it's rebounded off a few players and then found its way in. But yeah, I think it's just concentration, isn't it, to get the ball clear in those sort of circumstances.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I was very unprofessional there. We had too many goals to talk about, and I forgot about MK Dons, but they got a consolation, but we pretty much convincingly finished the game, didn't we? And Anna, to sort of finish up and round up the game, just good 3 points and nice to see some goals.
Yeah, definitely nice to see some goals. I think the girls going in at half time when they're 3-0 up, they were a bit like, wow, what do we do? Do we just sit here now? Because, we've been going in at like 1-0, a bit shaky, but, it's good to see that we can score a lot of goals, and hopefully we can continue that in the coming weeks.
Indeed. Well, Blue, do you want to mention anything else as well from the game? I think the good thing is it happened, and instead of that worry, could it get delayed? And also want to mention once again the fans / also all young boys and girls wanting signatures. I feel like it's getting bigger and bigger each week. I'm sure now you're getting to a point where, when am I going to be able to stop? Because there's just so many people. I was seeing people getting their arms signatures. Yeah. I thought you're going to have a wash that later. So any parents, you got pen and paper at the ready, but that must be just great.
I know. I was standing by the bench with Pesk and Kyra as well, and we sort of stood there watching the game, chatting. And some kids run up to us. I'm like, can you sign our arms? I'm like, are your parents okay with this? Anyway, ended up signing quite a few arms, but of course it's half term, so they can keep it on and they don't need to wash it off for school today. But yeah, it was interesting signing kids' arms. I'm not sure it's up there with I'd prefer paper, but the support was great, especially in the rain. I think it was 311 people showed up, so yeah, really great support. But yeah, nothing to add other than that. I think probably MK Dons off the back of that probably wished it didn't go ahead, but good 3 points for us and on to the next.
Indeed, and Anna, sort of just to echo Blue's thoughts with the young fans wanting signatures. It must be mind blowing for you, when you first started in the academy and now in the first team, amount of appearances, and just now signing signatures week in, week out.
Yeah, it's a bit surreal, really. You think, do you really want my signature? But yeah, they're like, keep asking for it every week. I think, you sign the same person's every week pretty much. I think I signed someone's boot and they sent it to me on Instagram and I was like, yep, you're welcome. But yeah, it's just standard now, really. It's great, yeah.
Definitely, it is great. And it's not just young girls, it's actually boys as well, because they're now, inspired by, you playing as well, and them coming to watch the games, and they want to be the next Anna Gray, the next Blue Wilson, and all that sort of stuff. And Joe said that nicely in Kieran's video with the club. I'm sure they got inspired to go into the school. Well, it's half term this week, so they got to wait another week. But they want to be the next Anna Gray, next Blue Wilson, next Tash Thomas, and all that sort of stuff kicking about, which is just great. Okay, then let's talk about the FA Cup. Of course, we're very known for this competition. Anna Gray scored a very memorable goal, very good goal in this competition. We got the draw today, but of course we have to wait who we face, because Luton Town or Sudbury. Blue, thoughts?
Well, I did see our fans calling out for Norwich, for a Norwich City draw, and I would have taken that actually. But Luton or Sudbury, two teams lower than us, but I'm sure we'll put up a good fight. It is an away game. So the away sort of FA Cup journey begins. But yeah, I love the FA Cup, so happy that competition's starting soon.
Definitely. And Anna, as I said, you've scored a very memorable goal last year. What's your thoughts on cups in general? It's an opportunity for normally for squad players to get games, or just players who are returning from injuries to get some minutes. But also just have a nice little break from league action and into cup competitions.
Yeah, it's a different type of experience. I think a lot of players get more up for sort of the cup games because it's that extra element of being knocked out. And obviously, FA Cup's sort of our thing at Ipswich. So, every player wants to play in those games. I'm hoping for Sudbury, to be honest, because I think it'd be a little bit of a derby for us. But yeah, I always like playing the cup game, yeah.
and less travel. Like, Luton.
Yeah.
Don't really want to go to Luton, do we really?
No.
So come on, Sudbury. Do the business. Of course, we'll find out that next week or this Sunday. Of course, a lot of games got postponed because of the weather. Not many survived, but our game did. Okay, then. It's time for 10 questions with Anna. And we've done some rejigging, some remixing of some of the questions. I thought just to freshen it up, Blue. But we've still got 10 questions. We've still got a few of the regular features. Of course, will Anna join Team Roscoe or Team Blue on Pineapple on Pizza? We'll find out. That's the last question now. That is the sort of make or break of the episode, really. So I thought, let's leave it to the last question. But Blue, I'll let you take the reins first of all. You'll bring up the first question. What is it?
Okay, so Anna, if you were stuck on a desert island, which 3 teammates would you choose to be with? I'm not gonna lie, Ross, I'd struggle to choose 3, I think.
They could be different reasons for, they could be one, just to
I'm
keep,
just joking.
First one, I think Laugh. I'd have Laugh with me. I think she's like quite practical, like she'd go around the island trying to get food and trying to get us off and things like that. But yeah, she's quite reliable, so I'd have Laugh with me. I think I'd take Nia as well, actually, just pure entertainment. Like, there's nothing that she doesn't do that's funny. Like, everything she does, like, just makes me laugh. Last one, maybe Freya, quite tall, can like pick the fruit off the tree for us, things like that. So yeah, those 3, Laugh, Nia and Freya, I'd take them with me on the desert island.
Fair play. Blue, now, because we've sort of remixed it, and I know you said you're going to struggle, but what's your 3?
My 3. I mean, that is difficult. That is really difficult. I would take Peskett. She'd have no sort of involvement of trying to get us off or trying to do anything productive. She'd purely be there for entertainment and also to chat about ACLs. I'd actually choose Jack as a staff member, so not a teammate, a staff member, because I think Jack would be great in that situation. I think he'd literally be perfect. And then last one, we're on the spot here for us.
Sorry, yeah, I do this a lot. Get ready, Anna. I may put you on the spot at some point in this podcast.
You know what? I'll take Lucy O'Brien. Because I feel like I want to get off this island. And with Jack and Lucy O'Brien, we're getting off.
Are you leaving Peskett on there? When you are back to escape, you're just going, oh no, we forgot Peskett.
No comment on that one.
Yeah, Peskett, if you're listening, sorry, but she understands. She knows.
Sorry,
she
not
knows.
sorry. Yeah.
Segue nicely into, and we've gone a bit deep here now, Anna. Got very deep. What has been one thing you've had to overcome in football?
I think just sort of understanding that like not everything's like a upward trajectory. So like, when I've come through the academy, like I've gone to England, we've like gone through tier 4, won sort of every game. And obviously last year for me, like it was full of ups and downs, like injuries, not starting, things like that. And I think it's understanding that not everything's going to go in a straight line. So I think overcoming last season's been really helpful for me. So I've learned a lot of lessons from last season that are really helping me now.
I've got a question off the back of that, actually. So what has changed in, I guess, maybe your mindset, but what has changed in you from last season to this season? Because this season, obviously, player of the month. And not saying that you weren't a good player last season, but your performance has improved massively, I think.
I think just sort of understanding that, like, not everything's just going to come to you naturally. I think I've been quite lucky in the way that I've come through, where I don't think I ever put much effort extra than what I'd been doing previously. And I think this year, I've upped everything. Like, I'm training hard, I'm doing more than I need to do, sort of thing. So I think that's helped me a lot, understanding that, not everything's given, you've got to work for it. So yeah, I think that hard work.
Good answers. Getting really deep here. Let's talk about the next question, Blue. What is it?
Dream holiday. You haven't had to be there. It could be anything, or you could have gone there. It could be
I've not been to Jamaica, and obviously I'm part Jamaican, so I think I'd like to go there, be a bit of an island girl, listen to some music on the beach, yeah, drink some coconut or something like that. Yeah, go to Jamaica.
Nice.
Yeah, Pest went to Jamaica, didn't she? In the
did.
summer, so you can get some ideas from her. Whereabouts in Jamaica would you like to go? Put you on the spot. There you go. That's my time to put you on the spot.
Just to the beach or something. Like I don't really know the places in Jamaica, to be fair. Yeah, just to the beach or something.
Yeah. There's loads of great beaches in Jamaica. Loads of great beaches. So I'll put, there you go. That's the last time I'm gonna put you on the spot until the next time. I'm sure we'll see. Now you play football, but what other sports do you enjoy? And what other sport would you say you could have been close to actually pursuing if you weren't a footballer?
Got two actually. I quite like netball. I was one of those girls.
Really?
One of those girls.
Yeah.
Played centre. Yeah, I quite like that. I thought I could have gone far in netball. Not the biggest sport, but and athletics. Like I quite like the fact that like it's sort of a solo sport and sort of you get in what you put. Like you get out what you put in. Yeah, that's how you say it. So like all the hard work you do, it sort of comes off. When I did that, I think that helped me with my football, to be honest, sort of fitness and speed. But yeah, I like athletics as well.
There's a few players like that in the blue, like Tash did the same athletics. Could you do was it triathlon? Was it triathlon? No, what's the sport?
Try what?
I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I do. You know me. I have my moments. But that's you've got to do 3 different things, don't you? Is it 3 different things? Is that the sport? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Biking,
running. Yeah, all that. Yeah,
I used to do them as a kid, actually.
Wow.
I used to do triathlons, yeah. I used to hate the swimming part.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But then I'll just catch up in the running, so it was fine.
Yeah. That is just mental. Stuff you have to do. Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. But yeah. Next one.
What is your ideal meal? I did see on your Instagram recently you've been out.
Oh yeah, I'm a bit of a brunch breakfast girl, so it would be something like that. I think like an American breakfast, like pancakes, bacon, everything really. Yeah, I'm a breakfast girl.
Interesting.
I can't go wrong. Best meal of the day, of course. Most important meal of the day.
Exactly.
So never skip breakfast, even though I did skip it yesterday. But don't worry about that. I'd be up early. But yeah, important meal of the day. Now, simple one here, Anna. Favorite colour?
Grey. Easy. My surname. I like it, and yeah, it's me.
It's interesting. I've never heard of anyone with a favourite colour grey. It's interesting.
Well, now you have. So yeah.
Do you wear much grey?
I don't really wear much grey, to be honest. But yeah, I just like it.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Yeah, it's your choice, not your choice.
Yeah.
Your choice. There we go. Blue. Next one.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
I think I'd like the ability to pause time, and I would just be in the moment, sort of thing. Yeah, pause time and sort of just take a breather, be in the moment, see things around me. Could use it for good as well. If something bad's going to happen, pause it, move someone out the way, or use it for bad, stealing things without people catching me. But yeah, pause time, I think.
I like that, Blue. This is a great question. We've had different, superpowers, but that's a good one, actually. Definitely the one about good things, bad things, Yeah, we won't get into that. But yeah, sometimes just to be in the moment and to actually, there's some moment, like say your goal against Southampton, to sort of be able to just pause for that moment, just to have that again, just rewind it back, actually, score and boom, celebrate. That's just great.
Yeah, I think so. I'd definitely pause that moment.
Not so good for the ego, though, I don't think.
Yeah, we won't worry about that.
Definitely. Now, big question here, Anna. What is the one item you can't live without?
My car. I literally live in the middle of nowhere. Like I would just be stuck. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get to training. Wouldn't be able to get any food. Like middle of nowhere. I need my car.
That was yours, Blue, wasn't it? That was yours.
It was mine, yeah. Great minds think alike.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mine is moisturizer. If you're asking, just
Nice.
Just let I guess no. Swiftly move on before we get into the final question, the most important question of 10 questions with. But Blue, going a bit deep again here with the 9th question, but it's always good.
What's on your bucket list of things you want to achieve? That's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah. Things I want to achieve. I think I'd like to be able to say like I'm a full-time professional footballer at one point, you know, because obviously I've got my pro contract sort of thing, but we're not full-time yet. I think that's the dream, to be like, yeah, I'm a professional footballer. My day job's to play football. That's what I'd like to achieve. Yeah, I think that's what I'd like to achieve. Yeah.
I like that. That's good. That's good. Good answer.
What about you, Ross? I'm going to throw this one to you. What's on your bucket list of things you want to achieve?
I've achieved it all, mate. Achieved it all. No, I'm joking. No, I haven't. No. There's lots of things, you know. Well, once again, you can go really deep here. You can go to, you know, more about your life, you know, in general. You know, have kids, get married, all that sort of stuff. You know, get a mortgage. Maybe that's probably it. Probably.
There we go.
There you go.
One sentence. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Blue, yourself then.
I didn't want you to check that back at me.
I
think Anna's one is a good one.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good one. Other things I want to achieve. So achieve all I can in football, reach that full potential, and then I think have a second career as well. I don't think for me, it doesn't really stop at football. So whatever that career might be, I think I want to have a sort of an equal success in that as well as football.
Yeah, it's always good to have a plan B. Even when you play, even say players right now who are playing in the Super League, I'm sure a lot of them are still now, you know, studying, preparing for life without football, because it's a long, you know, life without football, you know, when you do retire, and all that sort of stuff. Sadly my football career is, I can't become a professional footballer. 5-a-side, that'll do for the time being. And a little kickabout here and there, but yeah, that's me done. Okay then, Anna, we're preparing for this final question. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Team Roscoe or Team Blue?
I'm gonna say yeah. Like, not that I'd personally have it, but just let people do them. Like, I don't have a problem with them having pineapple on pizza.
We've had this before, haven't we, Blue? Now, she won't have it on pizza, but she doesn't mind it. So I don't know. This is
okay. Follow-up question then. If there was a pineapple pizza placed in front of you, would you eat it or would you leave it?
Just only pineapple on it?
Well, obviously, just like pineapple, yeah. It might be about ham.
If I had ham and pineapple, yeah. Pineapple and ham.
Okay, yeah, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think, I don't think you would just have pineapple and margarita, like cheese. Of course, you have cheese. It won't just be the base and then no cheese. And I don't think people go, oh, can I just have a pineapple pizza? It's got to be with ham and pineapple.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's known for. Yeah. Because I'm trying to think what's the normal, because we sometimes get pizza, don't we, after a game. Probably not the best sort of food to eat after a game. I'm trying to think what is your favourite topping, actually? Just another added on question, you know, ignore the pineapple and ham. What is your favourite topping? Blue as well.
Standard pepperoni pizza, extra cheese. Yeah, I like that.
Nice. What's the crust? What are you going for?
Just standard crust, like no stuffed crust, nothing, just standard. Yeah.
Nice. Blue.
I'm gonna go olives, pineapple, and ham.
If you're just listening on audio, Anna's not she's not happy with that at all. She's not olives. I can take them, leave them. A lot of time, leave them, to be honest. But it's your choice, Blue. It's your pizza. You know, we won't be sharing that pizza with you, but enjoy it.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay then. That is 10 questions with Anna sorted. Is there any other questions you want to chuck out, Blue, to Anna, just to, you know, mix it up, or should we move on?
None off the top of my head. I think we've covered it well. Indeed.
Well, good answers, Anna. We put you on the spot a little bit. We got a bit deep, and we found out your dream and all that sort of stuff, and your dream holiday. You're a brunch girl. So all good. Now, Blue, an opportunity now to have a bit of an update with you before we get into the results roundup and the table update. And how is things?
So I think quite a few people know, but I did have another surgery about 6 weeks ago now, which I have kept quiet. But yeah, ultimately had to have it because I was running, I was back on the pitch, I was within sessions, sort of non-contact, but something wasn't quite right. So yeah, I got it checked out, and it turned out that the initial operation to build me a new ACL hadn't quite gone to plan. So just had to have that sort of, without getting too technical, rejigged a little bit. So it's obviously set me back a little bit. But yeah, I had the op about 6 weeks ago. I know a lot of people will be asking, oh, how long does that put you back? The rough sort of guideline they've given me is another sort of 2 months from this date. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Everything moves so quickly, and it's hard to sort of put a time frame on it when so many things are up in the air. So we'll see how my knee reacts. So far, it's going okay. But yeah, I'm obviously still working in the gym, trying to get back on the pitch.
Indeed, and you've had to put the miles in, haven't you, to have the surgery, travel up there, get it checked out, and that's the thing you have to do. When you this sort of injury, you have to put that hard work in to get everything sorted.
Yeah, I had the surgery up in Glasgow, which I know a lot of people have said to me, like, why the hell have you gone up to Glasgow? You could have got it done in Ipswich. Like, it's not. But found a specialist up there who was highly recommended to me. So went and saw him and liked him and thought he was a good guy. And he did have a bit of knowledge to back it up as well, a bit of experience. So yeah, had it up there, and I've been back sort of to have checkups and stuff like that. It is a long drive, Ross, 7 hours. I have done it I have done there and back in one day, and I'm still here to live on. So it is possible.
It is a long journey, but it's worth it. Hopefully for the long term, and seeing Blue Wilson back on the pitch, and Anna. Sadly, we've had Pescott's ACL, Blue's ACL, a few of the academy players also doing ACLs, and just other injuries. Kyra, Bazza, yourself as well. What is that like? Having teammates sadly being on the sidelines a long time, but they're always there supporting and being in the gym as well.
Yeah, you really feel for them, like, especially, the ones that have been out for longer, seeing them in the gym all the time. It's hard sometimes, but, when they come back out on the pitch, we're all really supportive of them. Seeing Blue running around the other day, everyone just feels a little bit more proud of them, give them a little clap when we see them. But, yeah, it's hard. It's part of football. They're really resilient. Pescott and Blue, yeah, they're doing really well. So I can't wait to have both of them back, and everyone else as well.
Definitely. And Blue, I forgot to mention that list, Lucy O'Brien as well. And of course, she made her return on Sunday as well. It was good to see her make a brief cameo, and another player that is fantastic, and it was good to see her back.
Yeah, definitely. One of the first things she said to me after the game, she was like, I came back on and instantly I was decked on the floor. I was like, yeah, welcome back. But yeah, really good to see her back, and I'm hoping that she gets into the squad a bit more and starts starting games and putting in some consistent performances, because when she's on it, it's a real asset in our team.
Definitely. Okay, then. Time for you to shine once again, Blue. It's time for the results roundup. Also, take a look at the table. It's looking better for us now after the recent unbeaten run. Of course, we're on unbeaten run at the moment, but take it away.
So we'll go for the table first. So we've got Watford sitting at the top with 19 points, and then sort of a close 3 behind of Oxford, Portsmouth, and then us. We have got a game in hand on the top 3. So yeah, hopefully we'll win that, and that'll put us 3rd. But yeah, Oxford and Watford seem to be the 2 teams at the top at the minute. I'll go through some recent results. 1 second, let me just get them up. Okay. So at the weekend, we had Billericay Plymouth, of which Billericay won after a recent managerial change. So that's good for them. A big one at the top, Oxford v Portsmouth. Again at Oxford. They won that 2-0. It's a big win for them. Watford won away at Bees 4-0. we obviously won 5-1. Cheltenham Town, they won against Crawley 1-0. Gillingham won against Bridgewater, so a little bit of an upset there, and that sort of rounds it off. But yeah, a really close league this season, Ross.
Yeah, teams are beating everyone, and Anna, it's nice to sort of have a competitive league. You know, we're not. I know we beat MK Dons by a lot of goals, but it sounds like not many teams are getting thrashed, and it's pretty even.
Yeah, I think every week, we respect every opponent. I think in previous years, that's sometimes not been the case. You're beating teams 10-0. But, those are the important games. We like to play them. I like to play games that are close in score. It helps keep you focused, helps push you individually and as a team. So, yeah, it's great that the league's so competitive at the moment.
Definitely, because even Blue, I know we scored 5 against MK Dons, but I don't think we've got to give credit to MK Dons. I thought they were better this season, but yeah, it wasn't one of those where we just ran away with it. We had to still work hard and sort of not like put our foot off the gas. We could of course scored more goals if we wanted to, but yeah, it's just nice to have more competitive games again.
Definitely, I think everyone prefers it. I think the reshuffling of the leagues and the relegations last season that happened were probably due. I think probably teams that did get relegated are happier in leagues below, and obviously we've got a more competitive league. But even now, look at the table, we've got Crawley, Plymouth and MK Dons at the bottom, all teams who last season were sort of mid-table. So it's good to see, really good to see. I think it's a better advert for women's football. It's better to watch. I think it's a win-win for everyone.
And the crowds as well. The crowds have been fantastic. Even not just us, but all around this division, just even other divisions as well. Didn't I see that Derby Nottingham Forest had like 5,000? Of course, a former player of ours, Molly Sullivan, played in that game as well. And yeah, just see those sort of crowds is fantastic. And I think even Newcastle, they're really up in it with all their crowds as well.
Yeah, they love up there, don't they? I keep seeing, because obviously Emma Wallace now plays for Newcastle, as she's doing uni up there. But yeah, they get thousands and thousands. So hopefully one day we'll be able to play at Portman Road and get the town crowd in.
Definitely, and yeah, grow it, because we're growing it slowly, but pretty well as well. I think it's just organically it's growing, and everything like that, which is good. Okay, then let's talk about the start of the season to end the podcast. And we've got no game this weekend. #game, of course, getting rearranged because they've got to play the FA Cup game, which got postponed on the weekend. How would you, in a few words, describe the start to the season?
I think the first word I'd say is probably unsettling. I think we were a bit shocked, to be honest, with the first 2 results. And then I don't really know what word to use, but we've sort of all pulled together this year. I feel like there's a really massive collective effort from us to get these wins over the line. So I do feel a big togetherness at the moment within the team, because we've not been dealt the greatest hand at the moment with injuries and whatnot. But yeah, I'd say unsettling, togetherness. Yeah, those 2 words. That's what I'd say for the moment.
I like it. Blue, over to you. You were nodding about the unsettling side of it, because that has been.
My word was rocky. And then over the past few weeks, stabilising. So we're getting there. And Anna's right, we have had to pull together. We've been really unlucky with injuries. We had a small squad as it is. But we have all had to pull together to get over the line and be unbeaten, go on an unbeaten run. So yeah, long may that continue.
Definitely. My vocab isn't as good as yours, guys. So I did more of a stop-start, I think, because it has been, and even just fixtures as well, because we've had a few breaks, which has been needed because of injuries and stuff like that. But sometimes we have one game and have a break for 2 weeks, which is going to happen this weekend. But it's also good because of injuries. People can then get back. As Lucy O'Brien's going to have an opportunity to get back. Yourself, Anna, as well. So yeah, it's been stop-start, but it's been a nice, good few, this month as a whole, because we've been unbeaten and we've been scoring goals and playing some good football, which is good to see. Well, Anna, it's been a pleasure. Any other business from yourself you want to add before we wrap up?
No, all good from me.
Sounds good. Blue, well, thank you as ever. I'll let you outro as ever. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I know it's been a while since we last recorded a pod. A big thanks again to John Fowler's Solicitors for sponsoring the pod, as always. We'll be back after the next game. hopefully, when will that be, Ross? Or are we yet to find out?
Whenever that will be, I don't know. It could be
Whenever that will
anybody.
be.
We'll find out. You'll find it out on the socials. We'll put it out there. But yeah, just get ready for it. I'm sure it's gonna be another good game.
Keep an eye on socials. Thanks for listening, and have a good week.